some developments on that and whether or not his accuser, Dr. Ford, right there, will testify. Negotiations continuing.
Is it breaking news, Ed, or is it like kind of breaking news?
Well, it's kind of breaking news that they finally say that they are ready to testify, despite all of this back and forth. The problem, it seems to be, is that number one, we still don't have all the details on when she's actually going to testify and how it's going to play out, whether Judge Kavanaugh goes first or second, for example. But secondly, we also, as we'll get to this in a minute, there continues to be disputes about exactly what happened at this party, and more people coming forward to the committee and saying this didn't happen.
Yep, we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, we're going to share with you a little snippet of an email from Deborah Katz. She is Kavanaugh's accuser's attorney. She says this: although many aspects of the proposal you provided via email on the 21st of September 2018 at 2:33 p.m. are fundamentally inconsistent with the committee's promise of a fair, impartial investigation into her allegations, and we are disappointed with the leaks and the bullying that have tainted the process. We are hopeful that we can reach agreement on details. So it sounds like it will likely be on Thursday, and it also sounds like that was something they wanted to go out in the media and say
it doesn't actually feel like
a
very good faith statement. If you're trying to find an end state or a result,
accusing the committee of bullying.
You're a bully, you're a bully, you're a bully. Maybe we'll accede
Dr.
to
Ford
these
said she wanted to speak, and they
overwhelming
said,
demands. That's right. Well, Senator Orrin Hatch, I think, put it nicely in a tweet, in sort of in response to that at some level. He tweeted, "Worth noting that this is exactly where we were on Monday morning. Without agreement to a date, time, and terms, we are no closer to hearing Dr. Ford than we were when her lawyers said Dr. Ford was willing to testify during their media tour." Some jabs in there as well. A lot of giving of ground by Republicans, a lot of taking of ground as well. And you don't have to discredit the story of Dr. Ford, whatever it may be, while also recognizing that at some level she's been captured by political swamp creatures, lawyers, consultants who want to take advantage of this process. You mentioned Deborah Katz, her attorney. She's on tape in February of 2017 at a resist rally saying, "We're going to fight back. We're going to resist. We will not be silenced."
And another lawyer, Andrew McCabe's attorney, has joined the
exactly.
As well.
So while she may be credible, and I think she privately wanted to share something with Senator Feinstein, and now she's in this public hubbub. And this is being graceful toward her. At this point, the people who are advocating for her, they want to confuse, they want to delay, and they're praying something else will come out. And that's why the timeline has moved further and further on.
Right.
The later you go, the more they think they can confuse the process and derail Trump's nominee.
Right.
That just feels like, I mean, Ed, you've seen this play out. It's kind of how D.C. works.
You mentioned Dianne Feinstein. She sat on this for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I mentioned a moment ago, the story could be falling apart because another supposed witness, longtime friend of Christine Blasey-Ford, says she doesn't know Judge Kavanaugh or even remember at all a party where he may have been there, the one he's accused of. And I'm reading Shannon Bream, who covers the Supreme Court for us, of course, and hosts Fox News at night, sent out this email saying the committee, while we're waiting for the testimony from Dr. Ford, they've been talking to the other people allegedly at the party. She reports, committee says they've talked to 4 people alleged to be at the party by Dr. Ford, including Judge Kavanaugh. All 4 deny any knowledge of Dr. Ford's allegations. So the other people allegedly at the party by Dr. Ford's account say this didn't happen.
They also aren't saying she's a liar, though. They're just saying, I don't have any information, I don't have any knowledge that it did happen. And Kavanaugh, of course, is one of those 4, and he says, I didn't do it, and I need to clear my good name.
And that's why it's hard to find an outcome that is anything other than he said, she said. I mean, at this, you've got, her name is Leland.
Because we haven't heard from her yet.
No one's saying she's a liar.
Right,
We're just saying
heard her.
all you could do is look at the evidence before you and try to make determinations from that. Her name is Leland Ingram Kaiser, described by another network as a lifelong friend of Dr. Ford, which means, if anything, she would probably want to give grace to what Dr. Ford is going through. But ultimately, you step back as an individual and say, if I don't recall it and I don't know what happened, then I'm just going to be honest about it.
Of course, 100%.
Supposed to be somebody corroborating Dr. Ford's account. She's saying, as a friend of hers, I didn't see this happen. And Ben Shapiro, he's doing this big election special tonight right here on Fox. We got a little preview of it where he questions credibility of the entire case. Watch.
One of the questions of credibility goes to the way that this has been handled, not just because there's no other evidence. I mean, there are no other accounts of this event happening. There's no contemporaneous accounts of her telling anybody at the time. The only evidence they actually have is this woman's testimony. Well, then she should be pretty eager to testify about this, presumably under oath. And yet Democrats have been doing their damnedest to ensure that she doesn't testify under oath. They've been setting up poison pill conditions for a hearing that just cannot stand, like that Kavanaugh's supposed to testify before she does. In what situation has a defendant ever testified before a plaintiff? It doesn't work that way.
Very well said.
We're waking up this morning to, well, maybe there's a deal, maybe there's not a deal for Dr. Ford to finally testify. But we're also waking up to the fact that one of her alleged friends, Leland Kaiser, is now saying, nothing like this happened at the party. I don't know really what happened here. And so Nancy Cordes of CBS is saying, basically, the committee has heard from all 4 people who were allegedly at the party. They either deny they were there or say they don't remember it at all. Is this story starting to fall apart?
Well, absolutely, the story's falling apart. Look, and everybody's entitled to have their day to tell their story after an accusation like this is made. But what we have seen now is the besmirchment of Judge Kavanaugh, a man who's superiorly qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. We need, if she wants to come, if Dr. Ford wants to come and have this discussion, it needs to be done immediately. It needs to be done in public. And we have to give Judge Kavanaugh the opportunity to respond to this and then let the committee members vote accordingly. And I think they will vote to make him the next Supreme Court justice of our great country.
Corey, the details of this hearing have not really come out. They haven't been agreed upon. Do you think this will actually happen on Thursday, or is it going to keep getting pushed back?
I think Chairman Grassley has gone out of his way to try and accommodate her, offering again to go to California to have this done, to have them come to Washington to do this in public, to do this in private. He has given her every opportunity to have her story told. And if she chooses not to do that, then the committee should move forward with their vote on Thursday and bring this to the full Senate for a final vote.